And now, it is time for Take Survivor, the game in which only the strongest take survives. Joining us today, he is a physician, an epidemiologist, and the former Detroit Health Commissioner. Kind of a big deal. He's also the host of the crooked podcast, America Dissected, which comes out every Tuesday. Man, get off our corner. He is Dr. Abdul El-Sayed. Doctor, how are you today?
I am great. This is what the 13-year-old version of me thought he would be doing, is talking about sports all day, and I've clearly failed on that mission, but I'm just going to say I had Tuesday first, so you all can find a different day.
Okay. He is also an Arsenal fan, so pray for him as you pray for me. Also joining us today, our co-host, co-owner of the Atlanta Dream, Renee Montgomery. Renee, how are you feeling today? I know how you're feeling.
It's a good day to have a good day after you get a big win in the playoffs to knock the New York Knicks off of their little pedestal. It feels good, baby.
Well, unfortunately, I must take that because to the victor, the spoils. Also joining today, he's a producer on this podcast, Elijah Cohen. Elijah, how are you?
I'm good, Jason, and it is Cohn. C-O-N-E, pronounced Cohn, not Cohen. Long time correction.
Elijah Cohen. Elijah Cohen.
Now that we got
joining
that
us
straight.
today. Also a producer on this podcast, director of All Caps NBA, Jason Gallagher. Jason, how are you?
That was beautifully said, Jason. Thank you so much for having me. My Mavericks beat the Clippers. They wanted us. They got us. We're here.
All right. Just to catch everybody up on the rules and some of the tweaks, we will begin each round with a prompt. Our contestants will answer. They and the increased voting pool, which is everybody that is on this Zoom, will then vote on which take should be ejected from the island. And our contestants move on. Are you ready to begin, contestants?
Let's get it.
Ready to go.
Our first prompt. What's the most underrated sports injury? We hear a lot about ACLs. We hear a lot about Achilles. But we don't hear about turf toe that much. We don't hear about plantar fasciitis that much. Everybody, what is the most underrated sports injury? Let's start with the good doctor. Dr. Abdul, what's the most underrated sports injury?
I'm going to go ahead and say the good old-fashioned concussion. It is extremely common, and the bad part about a concussion is that you don't always appreciate the long-term consequence. It doesn't usually pull you out of the game immediately, but you get enough of them over a long period of time, and it can be devastating. And so I'd say it's probably the most underrated sports injury.
The doctor with his official medical diagnosis of the concussion. Moving on to Renee. Renee, what's the most underrated sports injury?
The most underrated sports injury to me is dehydration. And that is because if you could catch a cramp with dehydration, but also there's a lot of thirsty players out there for buckets. So they're playing selfishly. And so they need to be hydrated because they're causing the team a breakdown. So everybody needs to stay hydrated with H2O, Gatorade. Get that selfishness out of your heart. Don't stay thirsty, my friends. Stay hydrated, my friends.
Find that fresh water, says Renee Montgomery. Over to you, Elijah Cohen. Elijah Cohen, what is your answer?
Jason, you said it, and I gotta agree. It's turf toe. It's like an extremely painful injury that's designed just to make fans be unsympathetic. It sounds much less bad than it is. We need to rename it to something like lightning toe, or like hammer toe. It's extremely painful whenever you step on it, and turf toe can be rebranded to whatever J.K. Rowling has.
Oh, wow. Here's my take. Take toe out of it. When you hear toe, you automatically think, oh, it's not that bad. Make it like death foot or something like that. Jason Gallagher, what is your most underrated sports injury?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's constipation. And here's
why.
It's both mental and physical. There's nothing worse than getting the anxiety of, oh no, things are going wrong, and I can't really talk about it. So you try, it screws up your warm-ups, it screws up your mind in the game. I'm telling you, I had constipation before a 5K once, and it ruined the whole experience. And there was no national broadcast. Constipation.
I've heard it's the most common injury in curling too. So there's that.
Thank you. Oh
my God.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, Jason Gallagher, it's time to add some roughage to your diet. Let's go to the voting now. Just to remind you, everybody here will be voting for the worst take in the round, and the voting pool has been expanded. It includes our producer Zuri, our engineer Sarah, Mia, Caroline. You will all be voting as well. Place your votes, direct them towards Zuri in the DMs. Who will it be? Who is leaving us today? Will it be concussions? Gosh, I'll tell you, we never talk about concussions. That's a great point by the doctor. Will it be dehydration? Renee's pick of dehydration. So many other things can come from dehydration: cramps, bad Instagram photos, etc. Elijah says it's turf toe. It's extremely painful. It stops you from running, from planting, from jumping. But toe? Or will it be Jason Gallagher's constipation? Constipation. Don't clench. And maybe you can clear that up. Votes coming in now. We have got one vote for Elijah and turf toe. One vote for Jason Gallagher, constipation. One vote for Renee, dehydration. Another vote for Elijah. 2 votes Elijah, 1 vote for Jason, 1 vote for Renee. Another vote for Jason Gallagher. 2-2 Elijah, Jason Gallagher. Another vote for Jason Gallagher. It is now 3 votes to Jason Gallagher. And then with our final vote and our first evictee, Jason Gallagher, 4 votes. You are gone. What do you have to say?
I was going for the injury of the everyman and or woman, and it's I figured it was relatable. You're right. I should check out this concussion thing people are talking about. That is definitely
never heard
underrated.
of it.
We don't
never
talk
heard
about
of it,
ever.
folks.
Anyways, goodbye. God bless. Can't wait to vote you all off.
Jason is going to the bathroom, but we will continue with the questions. Our second prompt. Who is the best fictional doctor? Best fictional doctor. Let's start with you, Elijah. Who's the best fictional doctor?
Jason, the best fictional doctor is Dr. House. He's a man who didn't have any time for bullshit. Half the show was just sketches of him making fun of dumb patients. And the rest of the show was him just not giving a fuck, taking as many pills as he could while struggling to get through his workday. I found it extremely relatable, maybe even aspirational. Dr. House.
Elijah, is it ever lupus?
It's one time it was lupus.
Let's move on. Renee, who is the best fictional doctor?
Okay, so I'm going with the good doctor, and hear me out. The line is, this is a doctor who has a crazy past, a troubled past. We all watch Norman Bates in the Bates Motel, so you mean to tell me that Norman Bates goes on to be a doctor in a series and we don't know about his mysterious troubled past? Yeah, we do, buddy. Side note, way to pivot and refocus yourself. So I think he's found a way to do good considering his dark past. So the good doctor doing good.
Dr. Norman Bates, he left the hotel industry and then went into medical care. What an incredible pick. Let's go to our actual doctor on the panel. Dr. Abdul, who's the best fictional doctor?
So for me, this was all about who I'd actually want to hang out with. And for me, it was Turk from Scrubs. Right? He's not the main character in the show, but you could hang out with Turk for days. And so if I'm going to be doing a residency, it's going to be with Turk in Scrubs.
Wow, Turk from Scrubs, a lot of doctors to pull from that cast. But listen, certainly one of the most fun-loving doctors, played by Donald Faison. Now let's go to our voting. Who will be the next to leave the island? Will it be Dr. Abdul, saying Christopher Turk from Scrubs is the best fictional doctor? Will it be Renee, saying the murderer, Dr. Norman Bates, is the best fictional doctor? Or will it be Elijah? His pick, Dr. House, in the long-running series starring the cantankerous Dr. House. Votes coming in now. What will the results be? We'll remind the audience that we have expanded the voting pool.
Yes.
Today we have Sarah, we have Mia, we have Caroline, and Zuri all voting. And then, of course, Jason Gallagher, assuming he's back from dropping the kids off at the pool, will also be voting in this round. And here are our results. 1 vote for Elijah. One vote for Renee. 1-1. 1 vote again for Renee. 1 vote for Elijah. It is 2-2. And our final vote for our next evictee from the island comes in for Renee Montgomery. And her pick, the murderous Dr. Norman Bates, has left the island. Renee, what do you have to say?
I was really considering going with Dr. McStuffins, and now I know that I 100% should have went fictional, had a black doctor, and killed it. You guys, this is the first time not making it. May the odds be ever in your favor.
Wow. Always with the class, except when her team is winning against my team.
Let's go!
Let's go to the finals. It is Dr. Abdul versus Elijah. And our final question. Best personality, real person with doctor as a nickname. Best real person with the nickname Doctor. Who will it be? Let's go to the real doctor. Doctor, who's the best real doctor, non-doctor, nicknamed Doctor?
So I've got a 3-year-old, and we spent a lot of time with this doctor. It's Dr. Seuss, teaching the kids all the lessons. Never actually finished a PhD, but has taught a lot of people a lot of things.
It is the author, Dr. Seuss. Wow.
Plus, the Republicans tried to cancel him a while back, so you got to be.
I love that as well.
In Seuss camp.
Illustrator, author, Dr. Seuss, incredible pick. Elijah, who's the best personality with Doctor in their nickname?
Jason, I'm going to have to go with Dr. Phil. He's not actually a doctor, is he?
God.
I also misinterpreted this question, but I'm going to say that Dr. Phil at this point is more of a cultural symbol, more of a sex symbol at this point. A man who's out there doing it every day. People like him. They like his voice. They like his beautiful mustache. He's out there making the points that other people are afraid to make, asking the questions other people are afraid to question. He's a doctor for our souls. Dr. Phil, thank you.
Well,
I'm just going to put this out there. People vote for Dr. Phil over Dr. Seuss, right? The man just asked the basic question everybody else should have asked.
This is why people think this contest is rigged. But let's move on. I'll remind everybody
Dr. Seuss has been canceled. I also want to point out kind of problematic answer.
By all the Dr. Phils out there.
Cut his mic. I will remind the voting pool that we are voting for the winner now. And let's go to the voting. Will it be Elijah with his pick of Dr. Phil? You sound like a cow in an outhouse trying to find a can of worms. That's like something that Dr. Phil might say. Or will it be our actual Dr. Abdul El-Sayed, who says it is Dr. Seuss who is the best personality with doctor in the nickname, wrote many a classic book, some of them a little problematic, but we figured that out, hopefully, by just not offering those problematic books to our impressionable young generation going forward. Votes coming in now. You ever vote with your thumb up your butt, Elijah?
Only
That's
when
what
I'm
I would say
Jason.
as Dr. Phil. Well, constipation of the mouth in a farm animal. That's the kind of stuff that Dr. Phil prescribes.
I will say, to be fair, some of Dr. Seuss's takes have been a little off. So
it's been a long time.
My choice there. That being said,
the man was born in 1904. If his votes were right, if his takes were right on, I would be absolutely surprised. And now the votes coming in for the winner We have one vote for Elijah to win. One vote for Dr. Abdul to win. Another vote for Dr. Abdul. 2-1, Dr. Abdul. One vote for Elijah. Another, it's tied up. Elijah, 2. Dr. Abdul, 2. Another vote for Elijah. It is 3-3. And another vote for Dr. Abdul. It is 3-3. Final vote coming in now for our winner, Elijah Code. You have won Take Survivor with the pick of Dr. Phil as the best personality with doctor in their nickname. He didn't even truly understand the category, and yet he wins. Elijah, to the victor of the spoils. What do you have to say?
I have to say, no surprise to anyone, the first game where we unrig the voting process. What happens? Democracy wins.
Dr. Abdul, thank you for joining us. Incredible, and I'm sorry that this happened, but tell us, please promote America Dissected.
Absolutely. So 2 things. Number 1, Dr. Phil actually had a PhD in psychology. So I'm just going to put that out there. 2, America Dissected is a fantastic podcast when you want to hear an actual doctor talk about actual doctor things, but in an interesting way. We're dissecting all of the most important stories where health and society meet. I hope that you'll check us out just after you listen to Takeline on Tuesdays. Go ahead and download America Dissected and check it out. This week we will have a discussion about how to build an anti-racist healthcare system with the one and only Professor Ibram X. Kendi. I hope you'll check it out.
One more question, and it's just as important as that. As a doctor, please, how do we fix Arsenal?
Oh, goodness. Look, I think we've got some promising young players. I do think we've got to think a little bit about the culture of the team. It seems like, under Mikel Arteta, there just hasn't been a very clear sense of direction about where the club is going. I hope that they figure that out. The other point is the fact that Arsenal even thought about joining the Super League is itself a real problem. And I thought about switching teams, to be honest. But once you join a team, you gotta keep with them for life. So I'm stuck.
Well, Doctor, thank you for joining us, and thank you for listening to Take Survivor. Back after this.